Hey, I'd like to talk about this topic to do with Alan Tamati. We talked about her last night and the
Jesus
situation
Christ.
going on there. Now, Don Brash spoke to some new up and comer this morning who's doing some kind of internet thing. I don't know too much about him, Karen Plunkett or something like that. I'm not totally sure who he is. So I'm going to play some audio for you shortly. But I thought I'd go have a look last night, and I found all the details of exactly where this image was. There is a conversation to be had about. I understand there's no privacy in public, right? That's a thing. But then being able to make money off taking a photo of someone in public, there's another whole conversation to be had there. But this is the photo, and he'd got it. They got it from iStock. This is the place they got it from. Brash confirmed that this morning, and it says up in the top corner, this image is for editorial use only. And on their terms of conditions, it says editorial use. You may not use consent marked editorial use only for any commercial, promotional, advertorial, endorsement, advertising, gambling, betting, gaming uses, or merchandising purposes. So it's an advertorial. It's exactly what it is. It's an advert for their thing. They're not allowed to use it. They're in breach of all sorts of clauses. Sorry. Jumped out at me there, jump scare. The other thing which was interesting to find out, Bomber, and I'm sure you're all over this, is Jordan Williams' name comes up. Jordan Williams is behind that advertising campaign. Let's have a listen to. I'm sorry about this, Fano. You could dip out for 90 seconds. I understand if you want to, but it's mostly Don Brash talking about the advertising. I don't want to call it a campaign. The billboard and. Yeah, it is like grandpa let his grandchild run something and I wasn't aware of the rules sort of thing. That's what it comes off as.
Do you think in retrospect that using the image of a woman and attributing to her a political point of view without knowing if that was her political point of view in a very public billboard was a miscalculation?
Sean, if I had my time again, I would ask for an AI-designed photograph or picture of totally non-personal.
So if we can race bait and make a racist statement, but it's not a real image, that makes it okay. We're fine with that then.
That would have been a safer option, no doubt about that.
Okay. Was it you that did this or an advertising agency?
The person who does, or the company which does our billboards, designed
Person. Notice he said person, singular, the person.
the ad for us, and I must confess I didn't think to check that the woman was a real person and might need to be comfortable
So
with the ad.
Lumo Billboards made this ad for you?
No. We have a company which organises our campaign. They made the ad for us.
Okay, who are they?
Lumo, right. Sorry?
Who are they?
I don't think we need to know that name, do we?
I'd like to know. I think transparency is a great thing.
Okay, that's true. Okay, it's called the campaign company.
That's the company run by Jordan Williams.
That's correct, yeah.
So Jordan Williams has his fingers all over this. There's one other thing I want to play you, because Sean Plunkett does ask one fucking brilliant question. I don't think he realizes it's brilliant, but he asks a brilliant question. This is Don Brash talking about there are many Māori who agree with us because numbers are a general role. And I'll come back and then I'll play you the question, then I'll throw it to you, Bomber.
Well, we're not putting the campaign, obviously. We're strongly opposed to Māori Wards, and that's the message we're going to be pushing in the next couple of months when the elections are going on. So that's a very important campaign. We're not about to pull that campaign at all. I mean, let's face it, a great many Maori agree with us. Half of the Maori in the country, after all, are on the Maori electoral or on the general electoral roll.
Okay. No, we don't need to see imagery for the last one because there's no photos and there's no imagery, and I'm not going to give the platform any money to get the full interview, but half of Māori are with us because they're on the general roll. Well, causation, correlation, don't know about that. But then, this is the question. This bit's only 7 seconds. You ready for this?
Yeah.
So this is the question that Plunkett asks, and it's brilliant, and he doesn't realise the brilliant point he's made.
Okay. Could you not find any Māori that don't like the Māori Wards?
Because of course. What? Like, they don't exist. And so I did, whatever happens in that interview after that, I don't know because it cut off then, but it's like, no, you couldn't. So you're saying that this person doesn't need their mana or whatever the thing was for their ward, but you couldn't find a Māori to stand up and front that. And whatever the answer to that question was would have exposed that because they're not around. Bomber.
Let's give the devil his due. I mean, I know Sean Plunkett gets a lot of stick, and a lot of it is, just
Well
Sean
deserved.
But there are times when he can ask a bloody question and he hits, full. And there were a couple of times there where he really bloody pushed him back. Look, beyond the offensiveness that's been created by taking this woman's image and twisting it for this political purpose, it's a little. I find this whole situation more insidious than that, because that point that Sean just made there, you can't find any Māori who'll actually stick. What that billboard says to you is, oh goodness, if a Māori, if that you believe that Māori woman believes that comment and that statement, right? And you look at the billboard and go, oh, if she doesn't want Māori wards, maybe I haven't understood this. It's suggesting that these Māori actually are against this, when the reality is, I think you would be hard pressed to find any Māori who are against the Māori wards. And Bill and Brash's point there, oh well, almost half are on the general roll. No, that's not an endorsement.
No, it is. Because I'm claiming them. They're on my side. I'm claiming them. They're with me.
How could you even claim that? What? Firstly, it's. I think the majority is on the Māori roll in New Zealand, right? Mm-hmm. The majority of Māori on the Māori roll, just over 50%. That's the first thing. The second thing is whether Māori are on the Māori electorate or the general roll doesn't mean that they support Hobson's pledge. Yeah. That's dementia. That's That's not a rationalised point.
Well, it did sound like talking to Grandad during that, and I'm sure you have as well, interviewed Don Brash 15 years ago, and it sounded like fucking Grandad then. So it must be great Grandad by now.
I just think the entire, and this is to Matthew Hooton's brilliant point when he made some time ago, this whole idea that Hobson, because now we're one people, that he uttered that line, that somehow that meant everybody who was signing go, yeah, we're signing away our sovereignty. It's based on an almost mythological redneck theory that's just not historically true.
I mean, in the old days, you might have had him on your old show whilst you still had cancer. But just that question of, where's your evidence for this, Mr. Brash? Like, where's because I heard he said something about I like big butts, and I cannot lie. I mean, I've probably got as much evidence that Hobson said that than he said what you're saying, don't I?
Well, I mean, but even if you acknowledge that he said we are now one people, even if you, and I'm not saying he didn't say that. I'm not saying he did. The records say that he did, but to take that as everyone's signed over their sovereignty, that's ludicrous. It doesn't mean that at all. None of what they were claiming in Hobson's pledge follows from, because their argument is, he said this, so it means that everyone understood that they were one people and they were signing away their sovereignty, so we shouldn't have these treaty principles and we shouldn't allow the treaty to impact us and we shouldn't allow... They're making these huge conclusions based on a completely flawed historical understanding of what Hobson bloody said,